Hi, hello beautiful people. My name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel. And this particular video is going to be the start of a reading vlog. To be more specific, it's going to be a month-long reading vlog, which is something I haven't done. So this video has the potential to be very long because I tend to talk quite a bit when I do my updates. It is currently September 7th. And I haven't read anything this month except like a chapter or two of Daughter of Smoke and Bone. And I decided last minute that I was going to participate in both the Bookoplathon and Magical Readathon. So I have my books for my TBR, and if you want to see how I came up with those books, where I'm going to be sourcing them from, or just a general organization for the month, you could check out my organization vlog that I put up right before this one. But I have the Magical Readathons prompts here. I also have the Bookoplathon board and cards printed off. I am going to put this in my journal that I'm working on setting up, but I have this journal and I've had this for a while. I literally bought it just because I thought that it was gorgeous, and now I have the Spring Girls by Anna Todd that I'm going to use pages out of. It's honestly going to kind of hurt my heart to rip the pages out of this book, even though I did not enjoy it. It's still just like damaging a book. It just makes me kind of sad, but I'm going to use it and create my September spreads, and then probably throughout the month I'm going to do my spread. I'm going to make a bookshelf and a draw bookshelf with like each book that's on my TBR, physical TBR that I have not read, and mark them off as I read them. My plan tonight, because I haven't been feeling well today, because I had a really busy weekend with my husband. We went away on a little trip for our anniversary. That was Sunday the 5th. It was a super busy weekend. We had so much fun. It was great to get away and spend that time together, but I can't seem to get over this sinus infection. Just when I start to feel better, I guess I overdo it, I don't know, and then I feel sick the next day. So today I have been super congested, sinus pressure, clogged ears, like it's just been ridiculous. So I'm taking it super easy tonight. We're literally having ramen noodles for dinner and just gonna kind of chill and have a relaxing evening. So I thought I would do some journaling and some reading. Oh, I also have my book of the month box. I just thought I'd open it. I already know what it is, obviously, because I picked it, but you guys don't know. So I picked Alice Feeney's Rock, Paper, Scissors. I don't necessarily know what this is about. I've just heard really good things from my friend Lauren in the Citadel, and it's, I think, just like a domestic thriller. I don't think I've ever read anything from Alice Feeney, so it'll be interesting to see if I like it. And then this is the little monthly bookmark. I tend to get lost, which is very true, very relatable. So I'm going to film my first roll for Bookoplathon and figure out what I want to read, because I'm going to probably be bending the prompts quite a bit because I want to just use the TBR that I already have, since I have 14 books on it. I don't want to add any more books to this TBR, and I really want to complete this one. We will film the rolls and see what we get and see how much I have to bend these prompts to fit what I have. Okay guys, so I did my first roll. I'll put up a little video of the screen recording, but I got an 8 for my first roll, so I'm going to move 8 spaces, and we'll see what my first book is going to be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is Gods. Okay, I need to refer to the Google Doc that Becca has to figure out what that's gonna be. Okay, so I have my husband's phone here, and Gods is to read a book with a god or gods as characters or themes. So this will be perfect for The Witch's Heart, because it is about a witch who falls in love with Loki, and he is the god of mischief. So this works out perfectly for me. So that will be the first one that I read for the month of September, and I am excited to start that tonight. So hi, this is like the world's weirdest angle. but it is Friday the 17th of September. It's been a long time since I've updated this vlog just because I haven't been reading, which is totally fine because I've been spending a ton of time just kind of doing some self-care, and I've been feeling really great this month, and I've just kind of taken the time to not pressure myself and just kind of do some things around my house and for myself, and it's been really nice. And so I'm actually really in the reading mood. So I read quite a bit of The Witch's Heart last night, and I finished part 1, and I will say that I was not enjoying the story as much in the beginning. The writing is very simplistic, but when I was talking to one of my friends, she said, well, that's accurate to the mythology, to Norse mythology. So knowing that now, I am enjoying it a lot more. And I did take the time last night to look up like the basic mythology behind Angrboda, who is our main character, the witch who falls in love with Loki, and the 3 children that she has with him, because they are very interesting. So I hope that what happens to them in the original mythology isn't what occurs in the story. I hope that something different starts happening. I know that Mel did come into the chat and say that she was familiar with Norse mythology and not a whole lot was surprising her. So I think with what I've seen so far, if you don't know anything about Norse mythology, then the story will intrigue you a lot more and kind of draw you in a little bit, I guess. But if you are familiar with it, the very first part, at least so far, would be pretty boring. So I found the ending of part 1 to be pretty emotional with what was going on. I felt really bad for our main character. I definitely am hoping to see a lot more action in part 2. It looks like we're about to get a little journey perspective maybe. So that could be really interesting. But the exciting thing is I plan to finish this today when I get home, because we are starting our monthly readathon in the Citadel. We're doing a little self-care theme, and I've only read The Witch's Heart so far this month, so I definitely am going to have to get a lot of reading done in the second half, which I feel fine about. I am, like I said, in the reading mood, so that's totally fine. Looking forward to finishing that today and picking up something new, simply because I have been reading this for the majority of the month. Technically, I haven't actually been picking up and reading, but it's been what I have read when I do pick up and read for a little bit. So anyway, right now I'm headed to Walmart on my lunch break to get something for lunch, but on top of that, I am going to get some snacks for the readathon weekend. And everyone's been doing like word searches, and Ashley and Honani both bought Sudoku books recently, so I really want to get a Sudoku book now. So I'm going to go there and get those. Good morning. It is Saturday and it is the 18th of September, and I finished The Witch's Heart last night. The second half of the book definitely did go by a lot quicker. I don't know if that was just because I was finally in the reading mood or what. I know I haven't really said a synopsis for this book. Thought I would go ahead and tell you that now and then wrap up my thoughts on it. So The Witch's Heart, the synopsis that you'll see on like Goodreads is kind of vague, so I wasn't exactly sure what it was going to give me in terms of story. You basically are following a witch who has fallen in love with Loki, and she has his 3 children. Now, if you're privy to Norse mythology, then you will recognize this story. You will know exactly what's going to happen. And from what I gathered from everyone else in the group who has some sort of familiarity with Norse mythology, plus what I could gather on the internet, it stays very true to the original mythos, and the author just kind of added some color to the story to give it a little more depth, I think. And for me, I was expecting maybe something a little more fantastical. The writing was simplistic in a lot of ways in that it relied heavily on dialogue in some points, and then there were some parts where there was a lot of explanation and a little more detail given about the setting or what exactly was going on or the characters' thoughts even, and those were the parts that I really enjoyed. And I think if more of that would have been done, then maybe the story could have been given a little more depth than what it was. And I was also disappointed by the ending because, like I said, I had looked up some stuff about Norse mythology once I found out that it was staying very true to the original mythos, because I was like, okay, well, I want to kind of know what's going on, because I wanted to know if the story was going to change any. And the only thing that was different from what I kind of saw was what happens in part 3, which is another thing entirely. The book is broken down into 3 parts. There are no chapters, so I know a lot of people will kind of be thrown by that. There's definitely like breaks in each part where you can pause, but I know some people really like chapters because it kind of gives you a sense of completion as you're going along. So in part 1, we very much are following Angrboda, which is the witch who falls in love with Loki, and they're kind of beginning of their love story and the children that they have together, and kind of this life that they've built outside of Loki's life in Asgard. And then part 2 brings in the conflict, and then part 3 is kind of like the overall resolution to the story. In some ways, part 3 is almost like an epilogue of sorts, I think. I liked it. I just was expecting more out of it, I think. So I ended up giving it a 3 stars. And I do think that this is something that people who aren't familiar with Norse mythology would really enjoy. And the overall rating on the story is averaging like a little over 4.0 stars. So I definitely think that other people will enjoy this. If I hadn't known anything about the mythology, and if I hadn't heard other people telling me in how it wasn't different from the original story, I think I probably would have given it a higher rating. But the fact that I kind of already knew where it was going to head, it did affect my rating to be a little lower. But now I get to pick something new, and I'm excited because I feel like I've been reading that book forever. I can say that I'm gonna do another roll. Oh, I should say that completes one of the magical readathon prompts. Let's see, I think I have those here. Yeah, it completes the Mist of Solitude read a standalone. So I've done that one, and then it completed the Gods one on the Bookathon that I rolled. So I'm gonna do another Bookathon roll, and I will say that I have a few books that I'm really looking forward to getting to. A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, I need to finish that one, so I am interested in getting back into it. A couple of people are back to reading the books in the Discord, so I would like to get to that and talk to them about it. And then I'm also really wanting to read 7 Days in June. I'm really feeling like reading a romance. And then The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. I am also feeling like reading a thriller. I know that's like 2 different spectrums, romance and thriller, but that's just where I'm at right now. I kind of want to steer clear of the fantasy at this moment. Everything else on my TBR is fantasy except for Starsight, which is sci-fi. So let's hope the Bookathon board agrees that I should read these books. We shall see. And I'm going to go ahead and do my roll now. Okay, so I'm going to do my roll and see what I get. 9. Okay, that's a pretty good roll. Let's see, let's adjust so you can see my board here. I got this little card for my token, and I started on Gods, which is where I was last time. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Community Shelf. Okay, I have no idea which one of these is Community Shelf and which is, what is the other option? Are they all Community Shelf? Chance. Oh, Community Shelf has the bookshelf. Duh. Okay, so let's see. So on these cards, I put like books from my actual TBR that I had set for September. So let's see which one it gets. I had just shuffled these. So, oh my gosh. The David Bond trilogy. So I have to start City of Brass. So, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Everybody's been loving it. So I'm down to start it. So let's see. Maybe this is one that I can fly through today since everyone's loving it so much. So we're going to pick up The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. So the good news is that City of Brass does cover one of my magical readathon prompts as well, which is the Novice Path Entrance, which is to read a book with a map. So I have that one on ebook from Scribd, right? Yeah. And so I will be picking that up today, and I hope that it's something I can fly through. I know everyone in the Discord was really enjoying it, so I'm looking forward to starting it. Here we go with starting another fantasy series that I'll be in the middle of. I know I have like a few things that I need to do around the house today, so I'm probably going to kind of be doing some sprints with myself, like take some time reading, take some time doing some things around here and so on. So yeah, I will see you guys when I have an update. Hi, it is Thursday. It's been almost a week since I last updated this vlog. As you can probably tell, my readathon reading is not going great, but I am on page 94 of City of Brass and I am enjoying it. I still don't know enough to really say like if it's something that I'm really wowed by or anything, but I can tell you a little bit about what we know from the plot. So the story starts off with our main character Nari, and we kind of learn that she has these abilities and she doesn't really know where they stem from. She is sort of an orphan. She doesn't know much about her own background or where she's even from. So she has these abilities to heal people, and also she can speak multiple languages. She can immediately just like speak back to you in your own tongue, even if she's never spoken it before. That's really intriguing. I really like her as a character. And then in the chapter that I'm in now, we're getting the prince's Ali, or Ali, I'm not sure how he pronounces it. We're getting his perspective. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know much about him except that he is what is considered a pureblood, and he is of some kind of royal background, being called a prince. And so I'm assuming that eventually these two perspectives are going to combine. I'm not exactly sure how. I think that they're on their way to do that. So that is where I'm at. I do plan to read tonight. We're just having like breakfast for dinner, easy thing to do, and then my plan is just to read. That's all I have on my agenda. I do have some book mail and I'm gonna go ahead and open it. I know who it's from. They just tagged me in the Citadel and I was so excited. It was so unexpected. Let's see if I can get this open. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's see. It's Twice Shy by Sarah Howell. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is released this year. Let's see. Yes, it is new release this year. Honestly, I think this is one of those situations where like I read the synopsis when it first came out and saw a few people talking about it and I added it, but I'm not entirely sure what it's about now, so let's read the synopsis together. Maybelle Parrish has always been a dreamer and a hopeless romantic, but living in her own world has long been preferable to dealing with the disappointments of real life. So when Maybelle inherits a charming house in the Smokies from her great aunt Violet, she seizes the opportunity to make a fresh start. Okay, so I do remember this. She inherits the property. When she gets there, someone else also has inherited the property, I think, and they work together to remodel it, I believe, and it's a romance. So I really like this cover, the yellow. That was a thing this year. A few covers were like released in this really pretty yellow and I really like it. I am so excited to have this, and I want to thank Rihanna so much for sending me this. Oh, let me see it, the note. Oh, she said, I'm currently reading this book right now and I like it so far. I hope you enjoy this book, from Rihanna. That is so freaking sweet, Rihanna. Thank you so much. You definitely did not have to do that, and it was such a surprise, and I actually am one of those who does enjoy surprises. So I am going to for sure put your note in the book and I will keep it there forever. Thank you so much again for that. So now, like I said, I'm going to go ahead, I think, and start dinner and then do some reading, and I can't wait to get into this book. I know a lot of people are loving like the end of City of Brass and Kingdom of Copper and saying they're crazy, and I'm planning on finishing City of Brass by tomorrow because I have some plans to finish my TBR. I've been thinking about that because I know this weekend is when I'm going to be filming my organization for October, because I have a lot of stuff in October, so I definitely need to get that done early. But anyway, I'm rambling now, and I will do my best to update you guys tonight after I read a little bit more of City of Brass. Good morning. It is Saturday. We are in my bathroom because I am going to be doing my makeup here in a bit to do some filming. I have my organization video planned for today, so I'm going to be doing that as well. I guess just a reading update for this vlog is that I read about 40-ish, 45 pages of City of Brass this morning. I woke up super early so that I could be productive, so I did get that done. I wanted to get it done today, and we shall see if I'm able to do that. The Bookly says I have like 11 hours left of it, so I don't know if that's gonna happen with me needing to film a few things today, but we'll see. Hopefully I will, because I know that tomorrow I want to read 7 Days in June, and then next week I'm gonna focus on finishing A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, and then obviously I'll be vlogging that in my From Blood and Ash vlog. I feel like I have so many vlogs going on at once right now, but it's fine. I am sitting here on my computer, though I have it on the counter in front of me, because we are only 3 minutes away from the big announcement that some of us have planned, and by the time this goes up you'll have seen the announcement. I'll link it in the cards and down below if you don't know what I'm talking about. We're very excited about it, and we can't wait to see what everyone's reactions are. I know a lot of the Citadel members already know about it, but they'll see the official announcement and they're going to see that we have a Discord, and it's going to be so great. So we'll get to see everyone coming in. Let's talk about City of Brass. So I think last time I kind of gave you like a vague synopsis, and I'm still very confused on what's going on, kind of. I'm not sure exactly like what the magic system is, and I definitely think it's going to take a little bit of time for me to understand, but I'm still enjoying the story. I enjoy the writing. I'm really enjoying the characters a lot, and I'm just eager to see how it's all gonna go, because I know a lot of people have been really loving this. And then, like I said, today I'm doing my organization for October. We still have like most of next week through September, but since this is the last full weekend, I wanted to go ahead and get that done because I'm just feeling so great this week with the steroids the doctor gave me and the progress that's made for me. So it's been really great on that front, but I'm just excited to see what everyone thinks about our readathon announcement. So I'm going to, I guess, film myself as I see people enter, and then once that kind of dies down a little bit, I'm going to finish getting ready for the day. So, oh, it's time. It's 12 o'clock. Let's go see. We are live 16 seconds ago, live. That's so weird. I've never been able to like schedule a video in advance, so it's kind of crazy because my internet is always so slow, and my longer videos take so long to upload. When I do try to schedule them, by the time it's uploaded, it's already past the time that I wanted it scheduled for. So I've never had like a video just scheduled and just go up, and it's no big deal. Like, oh my gosh, look at this. Citadel coming at you full force today. So yeah, I definitely think you should go check out that announcement. It's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna have reading sprints, and like I said, we have a Discord, and lots of fun things are going to go on in October, so be sure to check that out. For now, I'm going to get off here, do the intro for my organization vlog, and I will talk to you guys later after I finish a little bit more of City of Brass. Good morning. So I am getting ready to head out and visit a friend of mine for a couple of hours. I just finished editing up through my organization vlog, so now I'm putting my shoes on to go and see her for a little bit. I'm going to listen to Red Scrolls of Magic while I'm in the car. I did start that the other day. I don't think I told this vlog that. And I'm like 15% of the way through, and I'm enjoying it. Magnus and Alec are so freaking cute. I love them with my whole heart. Oh, it's bright out here. Okay, so I did read a little bit more of City of Brass last night, and I'm very confused at this point. Like, there's still this whole mystery, to me at least, about the different people. Like, we have the Devas, the Jinn, the Nahids, I don't know, I can't think of more off the top of my head. I am still not sure like who falls into what category and where they are as far as like the societal totem pole. So I definitely need to try to figure that out. I think that's definitely affecting my enjoyment of the story, simply because I don't know who to associate with who. And then the character names, there's been quite a few characters introduced, and I don't know who is who. Like, there was Ali's like mentor, kind of.
his mentor and I think his brother, who I thought was like his dad's right-hand man, introduced, and I was getting them confused at one point. It's still this mystery about like the history and this big war that has happened. I'm sure it's gonna come full circle at some point, but right now I don't know what the heck is going on. I'm still pretty early on. I don't even think I've made the 200 page mark, but I guess just my confusion and like not really understanding is affecting how quickly I am getting through it. And I'm enjoying the characters and the writing. It's not overly complicated or anything. It's just a lot of things that I don't quite understand, and I do need to for sure look for some kind of explanations. I still haven't looked to see if there's like a glossary in the back of the book, but I do plan to read a good chunk of that today. I'm still doing some editing and things like that today, and then now I'm going to listen to more of Red Scrolls of Magic on my way to my friend's house, and I will update you guys when I read more of City of Brass later.
Hey guys, so it is Thursday, September 29th, so tomorrow is the last day of September. Let's chat about the mini books that I am in the middle of. City of Brass, I have not finished it. I think I talked about this a little bit in my previous clip, but it was just a little confusing for me, and that was kind of slowing me down, so I stopped reading it. And a big reason I stopped was because I needed to pick up 7 Days in June because my library hold was expiring. So I was hoping to get that done before that happened, and I did not. So I ended up buying the ebook. So I am a little over halfway into 7 Days in June by, I believe her name is Tia Williams. And in 7 Days in June, we follow two writers. One is named Eva, and she is an erotica writer, and the other is named Shane, and he writes, I believe, contemporary, possibly young adult contemporary. The two of them had this whirlwind fling when they were teenagers, like 15 to 20 years ago, I think. They were so impacted by this fling that they ended up writing characters inspired by one another in their own books and kind of spending the next several years writing to each other in their stories. And they haven't seen each other in all this time, and they happen to see each other at this writers conference, and they're once again drawn together. Eva, our main character, she is a single mom who is struggling with a chronic illness. We don't really know what the illness is, but it does give her severe migraines, and so we see her struggling with that. And Shane himself struggles with addiction. He is working to stay sober at the time of the story, and we get flashbacks to the week that they spent together when they were teenagers. I'm really enjoying the story. There is something that's keeping me from being totally gripped by the romance. Can't quite put my finger on it because everyone else has been so engrossed in it. I think the writing is really beautiful. I think the characters are really complex and wonderfully written, in my opinion, but something is just not selling me on the romance part. I don't know what it is that I'm missing, but I am enjoying it. It's going well. There's also kind of a mysterious aspect. We don't know why they ended things all those years ago. It's kind of hinted that maybe it ended badly, and since they haven't spoken to each other, it's kind of obvious. They haven't yet said what exactly happened between the two of them, so obviously we'll get that perspective with the flashbacks, I believe. And I don't know, there's just something that's keeping me from connecting somewhere, and maybe I'll figure it out and be able to explain it before the story ends. But I feel like this is just one of those things that I'm just gonna kind of be like, I don't know, it just didn't do it for me. But like I said, I am an outlier because I've only heard great things about this story. People left and right are giving it 5 stars, so definitely don't take my word on it for this particular story. And then I am like 70% through Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare. I'm listening to the audiobook, which is narrated by B.D. Wong, and he's doing a really good job with it. I'm really enjoying the audiobook. This is probably one of the audiobooks in the Shadowhunter Chronicles that I've enjoyed the most, so I like that part. In the Red Scrolls of Magic, you are going to be spoiled for anything that happens in the first 3 books of the Mortal Instrument series, so you definitely have to pick those up before you can even know anything about the synopsis in this one. We follow Magnus and Alec, who are a couple who formed in the Mortal Instruments, and they declared their love for one another in front of everyone in a very public way at the end of the first 3 books. And they have decided to take a little European vacation together to get to know each other better. While they're there, they get word of this cult that is rising up, and the word on the street is that Magnus is the one who founded the cult. They set out on this quest to figure out who actually is the founder and why they're framing Magnus for it. And in the meantime, they have to keep it a secret from the Shadowhunters, because obviously this is a big no-no for them and they could come down hard on Magnus. The plot feels a little silly. I mean, obviously it's a serious matter, but there's something just kind of humorous and not high stakes about it. What I'm enjoying the most is seeing Magnus and Alec together and getting to know them as a couple, because in the Mortal Instruments, they're definitely in the background. You don't see as much of them, and there's definitely some steamy scenes in here. We get some really great romance between the 2 of them, and I just love them together. They're definitely opposites attract. Magnus is a very humorous type of person who can tell a joke in a serious situation, and Alec is a rule follower who is always very serious. And so it's just they're just the cutest thing. Getting some real insight to how much they care for each other is really great as well. So I'm definitely enjoying this, and I should be able to finish the audiobook tomorrow, probably while I'm working. And for now, my plan is to go ahead and pick up 7 Days in June, read a little bit, and then I am going to do some editing for this particular vlog because it's going to go up on Sunday. Yeah, that is my plan for now. I will probably see you guys in the morning with my next update. Hey guys, it is officially September 30th and it is almost 9 p.m. It is 8:43. So I am like 80% done with 7 Days in June. My plan is to go ahead and lay down for the night and finish that, and it will be my last read of September. I also finished the audiobook for the Red Scrolls of Magic today, and I ended up giving it 4 stars. So I almost gave it 3 stars, but the romance between Magnus and Alec really saved it for me, and the last 20% also saved it for me. The tidbits there for just the rest of the Shadowhunters world, the different characters that showed up, and kind of knowing what may happen in the Mortal Instruments in the remainder of that series. It really excited me for that. And Magnus is my favorite character from the whole series. So it's always nice to get more of his backstory and have him as a main character. And it was just great to see Magnus and Alec at the forefront of a story, because they're in the background during the Mortal Instruments. And they're just one of my favorite couples in the entire Shadowhunters world. Definitely the plot, like I said, it's just felt a little bit silly and not great, but I mean, it is YA and there is a lot of humor in the book, because Magnus is a person who tends to be very humorous even when things are high stakes for him. So I think that kind of aided in what made it feel not as intense or serious. So yeah, 4 stars for that. And then for 7 Days in June, I have been thinking about this book today because I was able to read a chapter this morning, a few pages. I think what's kind of bothering me so much about this romance is that we are to believe that they fell so in love with each other when they were teenagers over this 1 week period. But the book is really heavy, and both of our characters have dealt with some very heavy things very early in their childhood, and they kind of had this like codependency on each other as this one good thing for this 1 week in their life. It was so intense for them, I think, because of everything they had gone through and were going through at that time. I definitely want to know if that's going to be addressed, because I still have quite a bit of the book left, and we've already had a pretty big reveal happen. So I'm definitely interested to see what more is going to happen as far as maybe discussions on that part. And then I am enjoying the romance a lot more. I think part of why I wasn't connecting so much with it too was that we only had that little bit of perspective from the past, and I wasn't getting much of a backstory on why they were so important to each other. But now that we're getting a little bit more and a little more interaction between the two of them, I am really enjoying it. We even got some interaction between Shane and Eva's daughter, which is really great. And Eva's daughter is super funny and just one of those real witty kid characters that you just laugh at, and she says the craziest things that you wouldn't expect a kid to say, and it's always funny. So I am enjoying it more, the romance aspect. The writing, like I said, I still enjoy the writing a lot. I think it's really beautiful writing, and I really do like the characters. But I will say this book is definitely heavy. There are a lot of heavy topics talked about in this book, so definitely take care of yourself and look up trigger warnings, content warnings for it before you pick it up. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this now, and then we will officially be going into October, people, and I could not be more excited about that. Good morning. Happy October 1st. I finished 7 Days in June last night. I was like super sleepy right at the end, and so I reread the last few pages this morning just to make sure I had like the overall setting and stuff. So I'm gonna end up giving this 3 stars. I'm very sad that I didn't like it as much as I was hoping to. I don't know. I was already having issues with the romance and not connecting to it simply because it wasn't believable for me. I will say that some of my issues with the codependency and mental health things that they needed to take care of separately were addressed at the end, but the end overall just felt super rushed to me to get to the resolution. And so I just didn't like that very much. I think that it ended up being cute at the end, but it just didn't give me that wow feeling of the couple ending up together. So I just felt very meh about it. And I'm sad about that because I know a lot of people love this. People are saying this is one of their favorites so far. So that's just kind of where I stand. And that was my last book of September. It is officially time to close out the chaos that was this vlog in September and start anew. We are in October 1st, and it is time to start spooky season. So as always, please check the description below for links, resources, all that good stuff. And thank you so much for watching. And until next time, bye.